Hi, welcome to Star Code Cipher. My name is Bianca and I am the owner of this channel. In this video I'm going to be doing a tarot community tag for tarot community build as a VR response to Crescent Dreams Tarot. She did this tarot quite a while back, but people are still responding to it, and I wanted to throw my hat in the ring because I think it's a good intro, not only to anybody who comes across this video who's interested in tarot, but also to other tarot readers on the platform. I just want to say hi and do an intro, so let's get to it. So basically this tag contains 10 questions and a few lightning round questions. So we're going to start with the first one, which is, the first question is my name. As I've already said, it's Bianca. My preferred pronouns are she and her, and I have this channel for the purposes of tarot, and it's called Star Code Cipher. The second question is, what first got you into tarot, and if you have a channel, why did you create it? Okay, so actually, many moons ago, I started with a deck that I don't have with me right now. I do own it, but it's it's stored away in a crate upon which my beloved cat is busy sleeping, and I don't want to disturb her, so I'll have to show you that deck in another video. I don't think it's going to make it to this one, but it's called a Mahjong deck, and it was in, I don't know if anyone is out there familiar with the game of Mahjong. It's a tile, kind of like domino like game from China, and this was way back in the 1980s when I found this little deck that was called Mahjong. And when I came across this, I didn't even know what Mahjong was. I was just intrigued by the cards and the pictures on the cards of it, and how the Chinese use this as a divinatory system in China, and they usually cast these Mahjong tiles at the first of the year. But this set actually had it in cards, and at this point in my life I was not familiar with tarot at all. I didn't even know such a thing existed. So this was the first thing that I ever came across, and so I picked up and I learned that that Chinese system of divination. And it was really intriguing. I still have the book. I just recently found that I have the original box that it came in, and this was way back from the 80s. So, you know, I'm an old cow. I'm ex-gen, so that's what I started with. And then from there, I don't quite remember how I discovered the regular tarot, but I did. And give me a second, and I will bring you my first deck in right away. Okay, so these are the first two decks. The first two, Rider-Waite. This was my first one, and then I found the little one. And as you can see, it's pretty dog-eared and well-loved. I just recently purchased a replacement. But the typical tarot by Pamela Coleman Smith is the one that I started out with. So I'm pretty familiar with this system, or I was when I was using it consistently way back in the day. So that's what started it, and I just recently started this channel because I want to get back into tarot. I have gone in and out of using it as a personal tool for helping me, you know, troubleshoot, which is primarily how I have always used it. And I think that comes, I think, maybe from my experience with the Mahjong tarot deck. And here's the mini version with the very dog-eared. I even had to put scotch tape on it to keep it from totally falling apart. But I used to carry this deck in my purse everywhere I went way back in the day. Alright, so the next question, question number 3. My tarot aesthetic. So what kinds of decks am I attracted to these days? I don't know that I have a fixed tarot aesthetic, but now that I'm getting back into it, back into the swing, there are several decks that I do like, and in no particular order, I'm just going to show them to you. So in this type of category, which is more, I guess, realism, is the Urban Tarot deck. I'm not entirely sure what kind of what you would call this. Oh, I think I have them backwards. Let's see. Here's the Hanged Man. Here is the Two of Wands, which is so here it's kind of I really like this, the kindergarten teacher as the Princess of Discs. So in this sort of format, which this is kind of collage, I guess. This is kind of a stylized collage version, or painterly version, more realistic version, more modern take in this kind of modern look, with the characters are not in, you know, the Renaissance Festival type characters. These are like everyday people you can see in the street. This is one of my favorites for that type of style, is the Urban Tarot. Additionally, I have this indie one called the Key Tarot. Comes in this beautiful little tuck box. And I think I purchased this one off of Etsy. This one I got on Amazon. And this one also, this one is more photographic than stylized over here. Quick look. This is the Hierophant. This Temperance is so pretty. It's King of Wands. So this, I believe this may still be available in Etsy. I'm not sure, but that's where I got this particular one. Now this deck I like because it's sort of a combination of like modern, and then you have characters that are still modern, like the Three of Wands in a city, but he's dressed in the Rider-Waite type of look to it, which they go back and forth. I love that it's dark and moody, and yet it has these bright pops of color into it. This is the Page of Wands, and the energy of this deck is absolutely gorgeous. Here we have the Fool, and this Ace of Swords. How lovely. I just love the composition of this. I love the diversity in this deck is really beautiful. And that's one of the things that I look for nowadays, is a healthy display of diversity in my cards or in my deck. So that's one. Another one similar to that, this one is by Danielle Norman. The Key Tarot is by Scarlett Ravenswood and Jamie Gold. The Ascension Tarot is the next one here. I love this color scheme. His Queen of Cups is everything. It's a mermaid. She's sassy, which I usually don't attribute sassiness to the Queen of Cups. She's more contemplative, but this one is shameless. Look at her smile. Let me see if it'll pop up. Oh, I like her. Here's a Six of Cups. This strength. And I love the pastel pinks and blues color scheme. This bubblegum, soft bubblegum type of color scheme to it. The Two of Swords. Here's the High Priestess. Very modern take on the High Priestess. The Two of Crystals, which is Two of Pentacles. And this is like a collage type of deck as well. This devil is one of the most intriguing devils I've ever seen. Here is the Emperor. He looks like a corporate CEO. Oh. And there's some diversity in this one as well. This deck contains a few other additional cards in it. This Ten of Wands is something else. I like this deck. So this is a good one if you like some diversity. Doesn't have as much diversity as I would like, but there is some. But I love the creativity and the color scheme of this one. So that's that. And then my serious favorites, I have two versions of this one. This one's called a Super Lunaris deck. This one comes in this tuck box, which is also a collage type of deck, and this one's far more diverse. This Chariot is everything in my opinion. This beautiful lady in the wheelchair, just the spirit of it is so wonderful. Out of all of them, I think the Super Lunaris really, this sort of non-binary, even though more female presenting Temperance is also delicious in my opinion. This deck is just wonderful. You have the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. Just lovely. I love this deck. I loved it so much so that I had to have it in the two different versions that they offered it in at the time. Ooh. This World, she's beautiful. Cover her up a little bit so that I don't get censored by YouTube. But this is a beautiful deck. Now this one is golded in the edges. Alright, look at this Hierophant. Insane. And then there are additional cards for this deck. I think there's the Empress and the Emperor have two different versions that you can have that they were selling separately, and I purchased those as well to add to the deck. And so this version, the one that comes in this type of box, is a linen version of it. Look at this Magician. I've forgotten how beautiful. I love this deck. Every time I pull it out, it's just so intriguing. I love it. But this one, so there are different textures to the deck, And this one is gilded. Oh, here's the Emperor. There's another version of this Emperor. Let me see if I can find it. I think I have the Queen of Cups. I love that Queen of Cups. Take a look at this Queen of Cups. It's a Native American, either, well, native of the Americas. I'm not sure if it's North, Central, or South by the dress. But here's that king, and I know this fool. This fool. He's so cute. I love that. Alright, so there are two different versions of the Empress and two somewhat different versions of the king. If you'll bear with me, I will try and locate that for you so that you can see how, you know, make a decision whether you want to include this into your collection. This was the card from this deck that made me want to purchase it. This card right here. This is the Queen of Swords. Let me see if I can get her to focus here. This Queen of Swords is just so intriguing to me. This is why I purchased this deck. Let me see. Here is this Empress. And this Empress. So I just went ahead and, so I have two Empress, two number 3 major arcana decks. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, that is a beautiful Empress. These two. And then the other king is similar to this king, but without the Republic flag. Let me see if I can find her. There she is. Okay. So these are the two kings and the two options that you can have for kings in this deck. But I think, I'm not sure which one actually comes with the deck and which one's the extra one. But as you can see, the background is also different. So one is for the Republic and one is a general king from anywhere. So I have both of these in my deck, in the gilded version of the deck. And I think this version comes with the I don't know, I'd have to look, but one of these two, and then the king, the regular king, Sans Republic, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I'm not going to bore you looking for the cards with this. So those are my favorites. I have others in this style in my collection, but we would be here 300 years looking at everything. That would be another video. All right, but I will show you one more in the picture style. This is the Ebony Tarot. Also purchased at Etsy, and this is a photographic take. And it is done, this is the Ebony Tarot. Oh, I don't know that I can make out the name. Let me see, because it's by a photographer and the pictures are just so delicious. But look for it, Ebony Tarot. If I could read the handwriting, I think it's Love. I'm not even going to attempt it, but it's a French name. Anyway, here's the Fool. And it's that slippery type of cardstock. It is a thick cardstock for sure. And it's beautifully gilded and beautifully photographed. And this 5 of Swords is amazing. This 10 of Swords is also a trip. I love all of this. There's the card, the Temperance. Let me see if I can find the Temperance real quick. It's difficult. This is still new and I haven't used it as much as I would like. Here's our High Priestess. The Emperor. Let me see if I can get a hold of the Empress. This kind of cardstock kind of sticks together. Here's the Empress. I highly recommend this deck if you're wanting to have some diversity in your collection. This is a beautiful Lovers deck. I just want to see if I can find... There she is, Temperance. What a fantastic image for Temperance. Just gorgeous. This deck is gorgeous from beginning to end. You can see the love with which these photographs were composed. I have an associate's degree in photography from many moons ago, even though that's not my official career. I am an ultrasound tech currently, which is still kind of taking images just for medical purposes and in grayscale and using a completely different type of imaging machine, not a camera. But the Ebony Tarot, folks, if you have an opportunity to get this, it is worth it just for the visual treat and the photographic composition of this. So another type of tarot aesthetic that I do like a lot is this one. This is a very popular deck. It's called This Might Hurt. And there's also an Oracle deck, which is, this is more like cartoonish. And there's a few also known like this, which is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. This one's by Lisa Sterle? Anyway, I'm sure if you haven't seen it, here it is. And don't feel bad. I've been late to the game for some of these decks that were lucky enough to get into my collection, but I like them because they are incredibly diverse. One of my favorites in this category is this one, the Awakened Tarot by Rive. I really love this deck. It is so lovely. And also quite diverse. It's got a good cardstock to it that is not too thick and not too wimpy. It shuffles quite well, and it is really kind of soft. I do like it, and it's very diverse. I absolutely love this deck. So this is one of those in the category. One of my favorites is this one. Another deck that I have in this category that I like a lot. I keep the tuck boxes. I'm very jealous of my little boxes. Is this one, this Modern Goddess tarot deck is also in that category. Another one that's diverse and worth having in the collection. This one, along with the Good Tarot, which I also own, but I'm not going to pull it out right now. It looks a lot like this. It's flush like this, also diverse, and just fun and whimsical. And it has a lighter color scheme to it. That doesn't mean that I don't like darker color schemes, but this one, these type of pastel-y ones really catch my eye, make me feel good. I do have a couple of darker decks, but I have to be in the mood for that because most of the time I'm depressed. So I look for things that kind of cheer me up. And this one is by Ethany, which is the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. This deck also comes with a few extra cards. I like Ethany. Let me see here. I'm sorry, I'm being a mess. I'm kind of clumsy. Yeah, this is the extra card that it comes with. It comes with an extra lovers card that is, you know, a little more X-rated. And then it comes with a card, a lover's card that has the fig leaves on it. And that's the one that I use into the deck. So because I would love to use this on my channel without having YouTube freak out. Look at this full. Ah, come on. This is so lovely. What fell out? Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. So this is so beautiful. Empress is really sassy. Yeah. So I highly recommend this one. Ooh, this is one of the loveliest Three of Pentacles I have ever seen. Let me see if it'll... There we go. This Three of Pentacles is everything. It's really lovely. I like that. So, in this style, this is one of my favorites by Ethany, and I picked this one up at Etsy. I'm not sure if this deck has hit mass market or if this is mass market, but I purchased this one at Etsy. I love the tuck box for it. It's just a beautiful piece. Now, my favorite, all-time favorite type of style, I guess, or aesthetic would be something like this. This is the Starborn Arcana. It comes like this. I purchased this on Amazon. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. Bear with me. And it's more space fiction, if you will. This one is by Omnito. And I have a few of the this type of style. By far, my favorite style of deck is this. Something related to outer space. I guess my channel is called Star Code Cipher for a reason, because I am in fact an experiencer, is what I guess we're called these days. Back in the day we were called abductees, but it's one of the things that I'm working out personally for myself, is those bizarre experiences that I had as a child. And so I've always been a science fiction and fantasy fan as a kid, and I think it probably relates back to some of the oddball experiences. I call them oddball experiences. I don't know, still don't know. I'm still years later trying to process that. So yeah. So this is one of the ones that I like. And then this one is recent by Alexandra Henley and Pamela Shen. It's called the Galactic Star Tarot. And I gravitate towards star seeds and things like that. And this is a beautiful kind of a modern take on that, which has us humans and aliens and things like that together. But the way this particular deck is put together is really, really nice. So it's not triggering for me, put it to you that way. I can be easily triggered with this topic. And so I look for things that help me work through it without triggering me too much. So yeah, I've used this on my channel before. I really like this deck. Other decks that I have to deal with that situation would be the Mystic Martian Oracle. Another one of my favorites that I like. And if you're starseed bent like I am, this is a good one to have, because it has very different topics about it, but it also has the different star seeds, and the book gives you you know, a blurb about them. So the different sort of aliens that you could have had contact with. And then I also have these by Melissa Johnston, the Experiencer Oracle deck and the Unimaginable deck. If you are also a contactee. And then these. This is by Robin Voicey. I purchased these on Etsy. She now has the Oracle version of this Tarot of Oneness. This is a very specific type of style. I have a few other decks that are similar to this, but none top this version. And she has other additional cards in the deck, like this one by Synchronicity, Present Moment, and a few others. This is more, here's your Six of Pentacles, right? So I think you can kind of get the idea of how this deck is. She also has two versions of the Lovers in this as well. One is a male and one is a female, kind of like depicting I guess twin flame or something like that. This world is absolutely beautiful with the butterfly and transformation. So here's our Wheel of Fortune. Here is the star. So it's almost like the items and the locations of where each particular character would be. Here's the Eight of Cups, and cutting the cord and leaving things behind. Here's the Three of Cups. So like that. It's just absolutely a gorgeous deck. The cardstock also thick, but not obnoxiously so where you can't work with it or have it in your hands. So that is that. And the Oracle of Oneness. This is how I bought the mini version. They do have the standard size. And this one has phrases of it because it's an oracle, but it follows the same vein and it could work really well as a companion with the Tarot of Oneness. So this just recently came into my collection, so I still have to go through it and work it. But that Tarot of Oneness is the bomb. Okay, so question 4. What tarot system is your favorite and which do you want to learn? So, of course, hands down. But I'm also learning Lenormand, and this is Erica's Lenormand of Hope by Erica Robinson. She does have a YouTube channel here, and she is a political commentary using this system. Political tarot and current events tarot is something that I truly like. I don't think that I'm going to engage in it in my channel, but I do enjoy those who do. Erica being one of my favorites. Magister Tarot is another one of my favorites. Hogarth. Let's see who else. Lena Down Under is absolutely one of my favorites. But they use tarot decks, which I also have Lena's deck. Dr. Rodriguez. I do possess her deck and I use it quite often. Let me show you what that one is. This is the One World Tarot. It does not come with its own box, unfortunately. So I have it, because I use it so often, I have it in this wraparound thing that sometimes annoys the heck out of me. I think I'm going to have to construct a box for it and dispense with this. But this is the One World Tarot, which is also a very diverse deck and a painterly type of fashion. And here's the Queen of Wands with the black cat. I love the Queen of Wands. And here's our Page of Pentacles. So she took great pains to include different faces and skin tones into this deck, and also backgrounds. This is the Eight of Cups again, which I absolutely appreciate, because I think the older I get, the more hungry I am for representation. I myself am a person of color, even though I'm on the lighter side. You know, there's variety in my family, and I like to see that. I really like enjoy seeing that in my decks. It brings me comfort that, you know, there are different people represented in my tarot, just like there are different kinds of people represented in my life. So it's able to ground me a lot more, so I like that. But as far as the other systems, the Lenormand system, I know there's a Kipper system out there, but I'm not too familiar with it. Here's another Lenormand system that I purchased off of Etsy. This one you have to get from La Panthère. If you visit Erica Robinson in the Company of Cards YouTube channel, she has information. I also have her book, which is really nice. And this one is by Night Willow Oracle, I believe, which is the watercolor Lenormand. Also very pretty, very painterly, very nice. So this is a system that I am trying to acquaint myself with, Lenormand. But tarot and the RWS system still continues to be champion in my book. Alright, so what? Top 3 favorite major arcana cards. This is question 5. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not prepared for this question. Top 3. I don't know that I have a top 3. I may have favorites as they're depicted in different decks, but don't know that I have a top 3 favorite major arcana cards. I think maybe if I really think about it, definitely not the Hierophant. The Moon might be one, just because I like nighttime. The Magician might be a contender. The Lovers, no. Not interested in that. The Fool also triggers me. The Star, maybe. The Devil, no. The Empress, no. I don't relate to the Empress at all. I'll tell you which one. The Sun. The Tower, maybe. I know a lot of people are afraid of the Tower, but Strength, I think, might be one. The High Priestess and Temperance might be the 3 from the original system that I started with. Might be the 3 that I like the most. But it's not hard and fast. I do like the Tower a great deal, because even though it's a shake and bake type of card, I do like it, because every time, like right now, I'm going through a Tower moment, especially at work, which they're shaking up our schedules, but it might end up being a good thing, you know. So, sort of. But it might be these 3 and the Moon second, because I like nighttime tends to be my favorite time. Alrighty, so favorite suit of the minors and why, that would be this the suit of swords. I'm a swords person because I'm prior service military, and I take to swords very well. It's also the element of air, thought, military. You cut through things. It's the kind of suit that challenges you. It is a challenging suit. And all the issues that are going on with this particular suit in them are extremely challenging. And I think that you don't grow until you're challenged. Second to that would be, of course, the suit of wands. And my favorite is the Queen of Wands. She is my favorite. As far as the minors go. Okay. So that was question 5 and 6. So question 7, which one of the court cards would you consider your significator? That would probably be the Queen of Wands. Question 8, is cardstock a big deal for you? Not really. Unless it's too hard that you can't shuffle them. And one of my favorite decks is this one, the Star Seeker Tarot, as well as its companion Oracle. I love these decks. I love the color scheme. I love the imagery. But this is one of those cardstocks that is so hard. They're not particularly all that bendy, and they're difficult to shuffle. So if they're too stiff, too rigid, yeah, or too, yeah, like this one is even more, is thicker and more rigid than the Oracle one. It becomes really difficult to shuffle, and I'm very clumsy, which is why I don't pay any attention to any card that falls out of my hands when I'm shuffling. I just assume that's me being clumsy and not anything that the guides are trying to tell me. It's not impossible to do, but yeah. And love this deck as well, but don't use it as often as I thought I was going to, simply because of the cardstock. Do I read for others? Not at this time. I used to, but that was in the before time, and I fell out of reading the tarot just because of life in general. Not because of I disliked it or anything. It just, I never had any time for it. I was going through school, doing a lot of other things, and it just sort of fell out of it. And I'm getting back into it. So for now, I'm not reading for others. I am reading for the collective on my channel, but not particularly reading for individuals at this time. Okay, so lightning round questions is coffee or tea? Coffee. Colors or monochrome? I prefer colors in my deck. And in life in general, I like colors. I don't dislike monochromatic things. Of course, I work with grayscales at work, so I don't dislike it, but I do like colorful, bright things. Cats or dogs? Both. I own both. I own one dog and one cat currently, and they get along just fine. Flora or fauna? Both. Although I may be more inclined towards fauna than flora, but I do like both. My favorite time of the day would be not the day, would be more like sunsets or sunrises, that sort of twilight dusk time where it's neither or. Those are my favorites. And the favorite things besides tarot would be watercoloring, my pets, of course. Oh, I do like to crochet, which I have not done in a long time, but I do like that. And coloring in books for relaxation. so that's it. Hopefully this isn't going to be too long or too boring, but that's my intro and my hat into the hashtag and the community. I hope you found this to be quite interesting and gives you curiosity to stop by my channel and say hi. So until the next video, I hope everyone is doing well and that you're keeping safe as you're out and about doing your good in the world. Bye.